All right, so I'm playing Spell Hunter, which the best way I can describe this deck is it's basically a Jund deck. It's a mid-range deck that assumes aggressive roles in some matchups and more controlling roles in other matchups. The Hearthstone mulligan system works as a partial mulligan, so I can keep some or all of my hand. My opponent's playing Druid, which there's no guarantee which Druid deck they're playing, but I want to look for some of my more aggressive cards in this matchup because I think they're usually a mid-range or a control archetype. When you're on the draw in Hearthstone, you get two advantages. Not only do you get an extra card in your opening hand, but you also get this coin to start, which is basically a lotus petal. So tracking, let's look at the top 3 cards in my deck and take one to my hand. I'm gonna grab a kill command here because it'll deal some extra damage, piece removal later. One of the things I like about Hearthstone is because there are different heroes you accompany each of your decks with, you can make pretty educated mulliganing decisions before you even start the game. So it really allows you to leverage the skill of being familiar with which decks or which champions tend to indicate which type of archetypes. So that way you know how to mulligan with your control decks and you know how to mulligan with your mid-range decks accordingly. What are the best packs to opening at cards for Tempo Mage? I'm not sure offhand. Do you want to look at whatever set Primordial Glyph is in? Primordial Glyph is definitely the better card for that archetype. Glyph and Alunith. I think Alunith is Kobolds and Catacombs. Alright, so you should be able to mouse over the cards on stream. Did my extension not change over? No, my extension should be active. Try refreshing your browser if it's not active yet. Alright, so I have 8 cards in my hand, the maximum hand size. You can't mouse over cards in. Yeah, you can only mouse over units when they're on the board. Neither of us have played minions yet, sorry. Oh wait, did my Innkeeper... Where is my Innkeeper, speaking of? Did it not load? Oh, for fuck's sake. I really hate Windows sometimes. Did it not? It wasn't loaded. I'm gonna have to restart Hearthstone. I forgot to load my thing because my deck list isn't up. I'm dumb. You might not be able to do it for this game. Alright, what am I doing this turn? Yeah, I was just gonna say, my deck list isn't up from Innkeeper, because Innkeeper's not loaded, apparently. I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot them for now and pass the turn.
My thanks to you.
So they haven't really done anything yet. There was a token Druid deck from last season. I wonder if that's potentially what they're playing. The fact that I haven't drawn a Spellstone yet or a Rexxar kind of sucks. So these cards are secrets, which are a type of interaction. Basically, I take this card and I put it down here and my opponent doesn't get to see which card I've put here. And then these secrets trigger and do something based on when certain conditions are met. So this one says when an enemy minion attacks me, it attacks something on my side of the board, it gets returned to their hand. So I lied, and you actually won't be able to mouse over these things because I forgot to enable my overlay. So you'll have to wait till the next match for that to work. Apologies. No, it's not Spiteful Druid. It's not Spiteful Druid because they've played several cards that are... They played Wild Growths and Branching Paths and stuff like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and Flanking Strike this, which deals 3 and then makes me a 3/3. That's because I just started playing Hearthstone. So we had 900 people from when I started playing Magic, so we'll see how the Hearthstone numbers are as we carry on. I don't know if there's any minions. There aren't any minions in standard that give you a temporary resource while they're in play. Yeah, opponent's playing a deck that has rampant growth in it. How do you recommend getting started in Hearthstone? Depends on how much money you want to put in. If you want to put in no money, you should follow a budget deck guide. If you want to put in some money, you should find a deck that you want to play, and then you should buy packs until you have the dust to build it.
Death is eternal. My turn is...
No, I'm currently playing their standard format. Standard is the most popular format by a good margin. This is not working out well for us. Opponent's deck looks to be more controlling, and like I said, so we're kind of having the wrong half problem here in that my deck is more of... I've drawn my more controlling cards against an opponent who's a control deck. So I need to try and clear their board up here a little bit. So Unleash the Hounds creates a 1/1 for every unit my opponent had in play, so it made 2 of them for me. And then Hunter's Mark reduces one of my opponent's minions' health to 1, so I got to eat that other one up.
staggering.
I dream and the world trembles.
Card's pretty good. At the end of your turn, they get a Dream card. So another Hunter's Mark here is quite excellent. So I get to go ahead and reduce this thing's health to 1, and then trade my dog for it. I'm just gonna go ahead and go Eaglehorn Bow, shoot you with this. Probably. I'm not gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna attack them with the weapon aggressively because I have this Rhok'delar in my hand.
Neither snow nor rain nor witch.
It's an interesting card to have in their deck. Usually, so this Oaken Summons card grabs a minion that costs 4 or less, so usually they have a pretty small subset of 4 or less cost minions. Swift Messenger is a kind of strange one to have.
I've got the beast in my sights.
Alright, so I'm definitely shooting them with this, I think. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Explosive Trap down here, so when one of them attacks me, this deals 2 damage to everything. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. Because this has to attack me explicitly. So if they attack, this is gonna take 2 and die, which is nice. Yeah, it looks like just some kind of Druid brew. The rant level's been pretty loaded. The rant level ebbs and flows depending on who's doing what and who says what, right? The weapons, when you play them, they have a durability and an attack power. Durability is how much you can use them. So this has gains of durability every time my opponent, what's the word I'm searching for? Every time my opponent activates one of my secrets. So that got to get used an extra time now. We're gonna have a pretty good turn this turn. So this Unleash the Hounds gets to make a Hound Dog for every minion my opponent has. And then Kill Command here does 5 damage if I have a beast, which my dogs are beastlies. And then this trades into here. And then this costs 1 if something died this turn, so this gets to trade into here. And then this dog gets to attack into here, knocking this down to 3. And then this hits it for 3. And then this goes upstairs. And this is one of the complaints I always heard from Magic players when they complained about Hearthstone that they didn't like was that there wasn't enough interaction in the game. And that's really confusing to me because the way Hearthstone's combat system works, every minion you put into play is basically a removal spell. So the games, by design, have to be interactive when basically everything you're playing is a bunch of removal spells. We did play Stasis, Justin. If you check, it's the very start of the video from today. Yeah, no worries, Darth Steves. I'll catch you later. I know not everything is for everyone. Alright, so we're going to play to my side here, I think. This could go either way. So, this card, Rhok'delar, it fills my hand with random hunter spells. Look in the Twitch archives, Justin. So I think I just want to like 3 them upstairs and then play this. I could also 2 the sides, which this summons 2 random animal companions. There's only 3 I could get. And if I get the plus attack and the boar or the taunt, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, so this is a perfect combination because this makes a 5-2, which lets me trade in here. And then I can go ahead and send this upstairs and then attack them here. We're in an okay position here. So the bow fills my hand with random hunter spells. So it's basically a draw 9 random spells. So some of the cards that this creates, or it's going to draw like 7 or 8 random spells because I'll have other cards in my hand. So some of the cards this creates won't be very good, but on average it creates 3 to 4 playable things. So this is basically a thing that attacks twice for 4 that draws like 4 to 5 random cards that are going to be playable. That being said, we are at 12. I don't have a lot of great ways to gain health in this deck, so we'll see. So that bow fills my hand. What do we get? I got 2 to my sides, which is really great. Deadly Shot's pretty good too. That's playable. We actually got a lot of playables there. The trick here is going to be not dying to their champion power, which lets them attack us for 3 every turn. The Wandering Monster will hopefully help us not die, because this says when we get attacked, we get to summon a minion. That's a brutal. So that does 5 to us and gives them armor. And it gives them a 5/5. So we'll see. We might have a hard time racing here. Rexxar's pretty good. So Rexxar changes our champion power from something that faces them for 2 to something that builds our own minions, which is pretty straight. No, I played the Wandering Monster after playing the bow because I didn't want to burn whatever card I drew off the top of my deck, and I drew Rexxar, so I'm really happy I didn't burn the top card of my deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit them for 4 here just to work through my bow. I'm gonna Deadly Shot. No, I really don't want a Flanking Strike. I need to kill this 5/5 so I don't have a lot of health. How do I not have time for Rexxar? Like, Rexxar can gain me health, right? Oh, Rexxar deals 2. Yeah, he does. You're right. Okay, yep. Yeah, you're right. I think that's the line. I forgot Rexxar deals 2 when he comes into play. Yep, I forgot. So Rexxar, when he comes into play, in addition to gaining us 5 here, he also does that. So with the Wandering Monster and the 5 here, and if we hit a Life Drain Troop here, we might end up being okay. That being said, they probably have another Ultimate Infestation, so we could theoretically be lower than we are. That was an amazing hit. To my side. Whoa, that's brutal. That's brutal. So the fact that they had a thing that dealt 5 to everything probably means we're dead. What are the percentages at a lifesteal minion? I'm not sure offhand. We need to hit one this turn though. Or I guess taunt minions are pretty good too as well, right? Because taunt would prevent my opponent from attacking me directly. And if I don't roll a lifesteal or a taunt minion here, I could get a taunt minion off the 2 the side.
Death is eternal. My turn is not.
Yeah, I put the headset on for Hearthstone because I enjoy the sound effects. All right, so my beasts have charge. This includes itself, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick this because we get a lifesteal one here. We did not hit a lifesteal one. I didn't hit a taunt one either. I think I just take Wind Fury, right? So I can play it this turn. The Wind Fury on this lets it attack twice, and charge means it can attack right away. So I think I'm just supposed to do this. Like, this gets in a lot of damage over these next couple of turns. This also gives me the ability to have this in play, which means I'll be able to generate a lifesteal minion next turn and potentially be in it still. All right, they have Leroy Jenkins, so we're dead. That gives them a minion with that can attack us right away. So could have been slightly better off if we maybe had a taunt minion, but there's a good chance, like, they have so many cards in hand, there's a good chance they had removal anyways, and we're just dead there. I think the play to win line is take the charge minion there. Definitely got burned out a touch there at the end. I'm gonna reload Hearthstone so my Innkeeper starts working. Yeah, and the taunt minion wasn't a guarantee either. Whereas, like, putting the minion in play that gives all my other minions charge gives me the ability to hit any lifesteal minion the following turn, which pretty much locks the game up. We probably needed to find Rexxar a turn or two sooner so we could start looking for more taunts and things like that. The fact that he was as low as he was in our deck ended up being pretty bad for us. That was a close game overall. And that's one of the things I really love about Hearthstone. Like, the number of non-games in Hearthstone where I just, like, don't get to make any relevant decisions in relation to Magic. There's just so many less non-games in Hearthstone. I feel like I have a chance in most of the matches that I play. Mage. So, Mage is most often Tempo Mage, but it could be a control deck. I think in either rate, Flanking Strike's going to be too slow. Hunter's Mark and Candleshot together are going to be really good against an aggressive deck, so I'm going to go ahead and keep those. I don't know what a DK is. Is the first guy to get their DK wins. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about Death Knight? How is that true? You just, like, kill their Death Knight? Which hero card? You just mean the hero cards in general? You mean like Rexxar? Because I don't think that's true in the slightest, at least not in the games I've played. I haven't referred to them I haven't heard that vernacular before. That's good to know. It looks like they could be a control deck. So I have this Spellstone, which makes more wolves if I play secrets out. So I think I want to take this freezing trap. Losing the bow feels pretty bad though. But hopefully with the freezing trap, we'll just be able to be aggressive enough that losing the bow won't matter. You could also argue that with my sequencing here, maybe I should hit my hero power this turn, and then I could go trap plus hero power next turn. But that would mean now I can flanking strike this turn, which is nice. Yeah, I played a few of the odd or even decks, just like my Magic stuff. All of my Hearthstone stuff gets archived on my YouTube channel, so if you just search Jeff Hoagland Hearthstone on YouTube, you'll find all the stuff that I've played, which is a good deal of it at this point. I don't know what you mean, Mike VT. Like, from the last time we've played it, I believe we're playing card for card the same list I played last time I played this archetype. I'm gonna shoot their thing and make this. I'm gonna go ahead and just poke them for 1 here, which activates their secret. They get 8 armor, sure. Yeah, it's the priest shuffling minions into your deck to turn off your cards that give you an advantage for not playing minions is a real tilt sometimes. Alright, so they're playing Elemental Mage. I think I just want to kill this so I can keep my... I'm tracking, see if we can find another trap. Alright, to my side's still pretty good. So this can finish this. And the thing that's nice about this weapon is that it doesn't cause me to take damage when I attack. Your health total can't go above 30, which is your starting health total. So armor is like health that can go above your starting health total, basically. I think I'm gonna play this Eaglehorn Bow. And we can only attack once per turn. So even though I played a new weapon out, I can't use this. I could have hit my champion power there, but they're at such a high health total that like being aggressive with this doesn't seem particularly valuable just yet. Them not doing a whole lot here is good for us. We're going to the side next turn and really apply a lot of pressure. All right, so Hunter's Mark lets me set this to 1. This kills all minions next turn, which would be bad for us. Let's go ahead and kill this. Send this upstairs. Wonder if I want to Spellstone here. I wonder if I want to Spellstone. The nerfs are live. So to the side doesn't guaranteed kill their thing, Tom. Does it guaranteed kill their thing? Fuck, you're right. It does. You need to be specific, Tom, because just being non-specific like that doesn't. Because we would have hit either the charge creature or the one that would give my guys plus attack. You're right. It would have guaranteed killed it. You get charge or attack buff. No, you get different companions with to the side. No, you can't double hit. At least I'm pretty sure you can't double hit. I've been playing this card a lot and I've never double hit. Yeah, you can't get 2 of the same. I'm pretty sure that's the case. All right, so I'm gonna make a bunch of wolves here. I'm gonna bite. It kind of sucks to burn this bow when I have 2 traps down like this, but I really just don't want to leave their 4/5 in play. If we get Flame Wave next turn, I'm gonna feel really terrible. Flame Strike, the deal 4 to me, but if they don't have Flame Strike to clear my board, they're in a really terrible spot. No, the one that summons all 3 is not still legal. For fuck's sake. Yeah, and I think Tom was right. If I would have played this that turn that they had the other one out there, I'd be in a much better spot here because I would have had way more pressure in play. And I still have an okay amount of pressure in play here, but they have so many cards in their hand, and we tracking past my bow earlier, so if I don't draw Rexxar soon, I'm really not gonna have a good way to generate card advantage this game. That card's very good. Every time they cast a spell, yep. So they just cleared my board and they gained 6 armor. So I think that's probably gonna wrap it up here. And again, I think that turn that I chose to not to the side, oh, that could maybe keep me in it. Just because I get to take their armor maker off the table. You take their armor maker off the table. The problem is they have, what, 7 cards in their hand still? Rexxar is a pretty unbeatable amount of card advantage, but I need to hit Rexxar in order to generate that unbeatable card advantage. Dang. Playing if I play Rexxar, does my hero power reset? If I play this, does my hero power reset? It does, right? Might as well get in my lick for 2. The fact that we hit Rexxar here means we might be able to grind through what they have going on. I think I'm just going to take 2 cheap ones here so I can play this out plus something else next turn maybe. So how Rexxar's power works: you spend 2 resources, and then it shows you 3 minions, and then shows you 3 minions again, and then it smushes the stats of all those minions together. So this is a 2-drop 3/6. Yeah, we want to play this 1 second because it makes my other minions cost more, right? Their board's pretty big though. They could definitely grind through what we're about to generate here. Giving my beast charge could be okay. I guess I could just go for 2 cheap ones again though, and then like go wide myself this turn. So I picked a 1. If I pick this, I can play all 3 of these. The problem with Charge, Tom, is there was no guarantee that I find a 0 or 1 drop to go with it to guarantee I can play 2 things this turn. And like I found the 0, so obviously it would have been fine. I think I'm gonna take that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do these. We're still a fair bit behind here, but depending on how they play and what our roles are with Rexxar, we could claw our way back into this game. Again, I think the really big turning point this game was that turn I didn't identify that to the side would have guaranteed kill the Doombringer, so I didn't get to advance my board that turn, which meant I didn't have enough pressure to get underneath their sweeper. That's gonna be all she wrote. Just too much there. Yeah. Like I said, I think the way my draw presented itself, I could have had enough pressure to get underneath their draw, but I misidentified that turn they played the Doombringer, and then I didn't give myself enough to get back under it. So I put myself just a little bit too far behind, and then that gave them an opening to have sweeper into sweeper, which I wasn't able to recover from even with Rexxar. You never concede early when you can. I don't know what that means, Frenzied Mage. Hey, Capitalist Pig. Love all the content. Keep on keeping on. Thanks for the 4-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't know what you mean, Frenzied Mage. We're playing Spell Hunter, and then we're playing an Exodia Mage deck, and then we are playing a Togwaggle Druid. So Warrior is usually a more controlling deck. So against control decks, you want to be as aggressive as possible with Spell Hunter, which generally means you want early animal companions and you want Spellstones, but your Spellstones also need secrets, so I like keeping Wandering Monster to make any Spellstones we draw better. To my side is good to be aggressive with, and Rexxar is good at grinding through Warrior, and we drew the Spellstone on 1. The part of the problem is, Frenzied Mage, I'm not experienced enough in Hearthstone to really have an accurate measure on when I'm actually that low. So my concession APM is lower here because I can't correctly identify, I feel, when I'm actually completely out of games. All right, well, let's just start plowing through here. I guess I should just pick their board apart here. That's not even true. So their thing just like gives them 4 armor every turn, so it's going to be kind of a bear to get through. So if you missed it there at the start of the game, my opponent's thing revealed a card which powers up their hero power, assuming their deck is built in a certain way. Even though this Spellstone is only going to make 3 3/3s, I think I still play it out next turn. That's kind of brutal. Getting a little bit punished for not killing their 1/2. I understand the basics of the game fairly well. Like, relations from card games translate, and like playing good TCG gameplay translates from game to game is basically what I mean to say. But like, so like being able to identify like when I'm fully ahead and when I'm really behind in matchups is definitely something that's a skill that I need to work on. Yeah, I think these are Sades. Just like whatever. Sades sounds right. I think I remember that brand name. All right, so what am I doing here? I think it's just Rexxar, right? Yeah, so how Hearthstone deck building restrictions work, I actually really like Hearthstone deck building restrictions. You get 2 copies of every card that's not legendary. So every non-legendary card you get up to 2 copies of. I guess this bow is kind of reach, so I'll take that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get Rexxar going here. Yeah, Rexxar, my opponent's deck is a control deck, and Rexxar's kind of infinite value. My opponent understands what cards they can't beat. Alrighty, gotcha. Good, excellent. Yeah, the yellow cards with the stars next to them are legendary cards. To be fair, it's really hard for the warrior deck to grind through the value that Rexxar offers. He grinds out control decks from positions you're really behind. So in a board like that where I'm at parity, we're going to be winning by a lot.
Rexxar versus Easy.
Let's have some fun.
All right, Warlock. So Warlock's a card that just got nerfed. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, Odium. Questions are great. But I think I'm going to err on the side of them being a more aggressive champion. So again, I'm going to try and mulligan for Spellstones and Animal Companions. And because I'm mulliganing for Spellstones, I'm going to keep my Explosive Trap because it makes my Spellstones better. Yes, yeah, one of the things that's really amazing to me on Hearthstone, and again, this is another thing that really rewards you for being a good TCG player or a good card game player, is that because your deck is only 30 cards because it's not diluted by resources, knowing your deck composition is important because you're seeing most or all of your cards in your deck almost every game. Yep. So opponent's actually playing a zoo deck here. So let's see what they have going on. I probably want to save the coin for my Deathstalker Rexxar here. I'm definitely killing this. I don't know if I want to play Explosive Trap out or not. I'm basically trading Explosive Trap for just this Prince, which I guess that keeps my health total high, so maybe that's worthwhile. It makes any Spellstones I draw worse, but I have enough else going on that's probably fine. I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop the trap and pass. So they should start by attacking with this. Another thing that adds a lot of complexity and depth to what Hearthstone does is the fact that your turn cycle is fluid, so you can attack and play things, or play things then attack and then attack with more stuff. Really makes it so there's a lot of things that you need to know how to play around in a given game. I think I just want to keep their board as clear as possible, so I'm going to attack this for 1 and just kill command it for 3. So 2 turns from now, I can coin out this Rexxar, which should be pretty good, hopefully. Yep, yeah, every minion in Hearthstone is effectively doubles as a piece of removal because every minion attacks other minions directly. Huh. That's a big boy. Do I still want to Rexxar this turn? I don't actually know if I want to Rexxar this turn. I might want to 2 my side this turn now. That card's going to beat me down really fast. I think I'm going to 2 my side. So, like, I'm not going to have time to activate Rexxar against the pressure that they have right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and slam my piggy into here, which knocks this to 3. I think we just need to keep the board in check. I agree with that assessment. Wow, that's brutal. That is brutal. I could just double Unleash here and make 6 1/1s and like trade down this, I think. I think that's fine. Rexxar killed a 3/3. That also works. The problem is then I don't get value off these Hounds, but I guess I'm probably going to get value off the Hounds later, right? Yeah, it really is, Nerdster. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I think that's the right line. Because they're a zoo deck, so they're going to put more minions into play here. I might even get more than 3 dogs per Unleash next turn, depending on like what their hand is. Hey, Noob Shoota. Thank you for the 5-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back.
Speak your peace.
That's kind of brutal. All right. What am I doing? I think I'm starting with this. I need some cheap cards here. Poisonous Rush is pretty good. Build a Beast allows me to construct a minion, basically. It's like an expensive removal spell. I don't know if that's actually good or not. It costs 6. That was probably bad. I think I'm just gonna go monster plus trap here. Although I guess this means I'm just gonna take a fuck ton of damage here, right? There's so many micro decisions in all of these turns. I think the turn I played Rexxar was wrong. I think I should have just played... Yeah, because they get to attack with this first, and that triggers both of these traps. It actually ends up being really terrible for me. Yeah, and now they get to replay this. Yeah, the turn I played Rexxar, I think I should have made Hounds, because Rexxar could kill things from behind taunts like this, and my Hounds can't. My Hounds, I'm just like fucked on this taunt minion.
Your peace.
Unleash me.
That's pretty good for me, I guess. I guess that's okay for me. And now I played, I don't know, like expecting them to have taunts in their deck isn't unreasonable, I don't think. I don't think like, hey, my opponent could play taunts, so I should play around them is like strictly hindsight. I guess I'm gonna start with this. This is pretty good because it buffers my health total later. And a taunt. Well, that's gonna be great. All right, so then let's go ahead and play dogs again. So next turn I get to put this down, which if they have a silence, it's gonna suck. But if they don't have a silence, this could really stabilize the game for us. Taunt means my opponent has to attack it, which is nice, in addition to this gaining us 3.
Speak your peace.
Yeah, but like they're through half the cards in their deck, so there's a very good chance that they like, again, and like that's where knowing deck compositions is very valuable. Like it's not unreasonable to assume they have their only taunt minion when they've seen half their deck. And get silenced and just die here. Because again, they've seen half their deck and they probably have 2 to 3 silence units in their deck, so pretty good chance whatever silence unit they have in their hand.
Your magic shall
Yep.
not save.
The old tank into lethal.
This heart is yours.
There's so many micro decisions every single turn. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the fact that they hadn't played any taunt minions yet meant I should have I should have played the Hounds sooner, so that way I had Rexxar to clean up after, because they're playing so many things to the board, I really wasn't going to have time to be activating Rexxar. And like you saw there, I activated him a couple times, but I never actually played any of the things that he made, so he was just spewed resources.
Rexxar versus Uther. I will fight with honor. Let the hunt begin.
Explosive Trap is pretty good against Paladin. I think I'm going to mulligan these two looking for Spellstone. Mark's not terrible with Trap. Grievous Bite's also okay against Paladin's one of the one of the cards that just got nerfed, so Paladin next will probably be a bit of bruise.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
What exactly is a Spellstone? So Spellstone is this lesser emerald Spellstone here, and it's a 5-cost card that creates 2 3/3s. But if you've played traps, it makes more 3/3s basically. So for every trap you've played, it makes while it's in your hand, it makes an additional 3/3 up to 4 3/3s. So Spellstones are cards that start out weak, and when you do a certain thing while it's in your hand, it gets more powerful. I think there's just a lot of really good taunt minions, so like expecting the deck to play a card that's like high quality is fine. I think I'm just gonna face them again. I've got so much go wide to keep in check here. I've got Trap, I've got Hounds, I've got Grievous Bite. I'm gonna let them go a little bit wider before I start cleaning up their board. Yes, correct. One of the mistakes that I definitely made when I was thinking about Hearthstone to start was that I assumed the fact that the game had to be designed to fit on a small screen automatically meant that it lacked depth, and that's definitely not what it means. Even the limit to the units on the board is important, like because like this card for instance deals 2 and then it damages the adjacent units. So you can see here's the Spellstone I was talking about. This makes 2 wolves, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this explosive trap out, and now it makes 3 wolves. I think I'm just gonna bite this, so that way when they attack in next turn, both of these die. So that way the board's mostly contained for when I Spellstone to make some wolves next turn. The fact that they're playing minions out here before they attack here is so good for me. Unless they're just not attacking. Maybe they're just not gonna attack. So their sequencing was terrible here. So they're gonna attack, this trap's gonna trigger, and it's gonna kill a bunch of minions that didn't have to die, because again, sequencing is important. Make some wolves here. And next turn I have Rexxar to clear their board again. Yep. Some medium-minded sequencing on the opponent's part.
Reporting for duty.
I mean, that's true of any game Mania Cloak, I think. I think there's a lot of, people underestimate one of the things I think people do with games that have variance by design is it's very easy to write off all of the game as being easy and the good players just being lucky, instead of willing to accept the fact that, hey, maybe I'm not good at something. It takes a pretty big person to accept and go, hey, I kind of suck at this and need to get better, especially when you really have to like look for why you suck. Like, games that have variance by design can make it difficult to figure out why you're bad. So I think I'm gonna Hunter's Mark this. Then I'm gonna go ahead and unleash the Hounds here to make 2 guys, and then I'm gonna unleash the Hounds to make 2 more. And I'm gonna go poke this. Divine Shield prevents damage the first time, then we kill it the second time, and then we just run down their face here. Did I miss lethal? Oh yeah, none of their shit had taunt, right? Yeah, I could have just double faced with kill commands. I was so focused on controlling their board. So these deal 5 damage to the dome, so I could have just gone 3/3/3 and then 10 them. Yep. Stopping, and that's one of the things you need to do that's really a valuable skill in Hearthstone, is stopping to identify when you need to pivot. So like, we're definitely the control in this matchup, right? Like, our opponent's deck is the aggressive deck and we're the controlling deck early. So being able to identify when you're ready to turn the corner and when you actually have lethal, as opposed to focusing on controlling the board, is important.